Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, the home to Route 66 and the site of tonight's regular season finale. It is East versus West here at the Lab. Thank you for joining us as New Mexico United hosts the 2024 Eastern Conference Champions for the first time here in the 505, Rhode Island FC. My name is Tyler Ortega, and I'm joined as always by Chris Hurst. Now, Chris, this one here tonight, there's going to be a lot of other things going on outside of the game, but for New Mexico, they are locked into the 3 seed going into the postseason next week, no matter what. But for Rhode Island, a key 3 points up for grabs here tonight.
Yeah, Rhode Island, it's all about avoiding Lou City. They do not want to take a trip to Lou next week, and that's what 3 points means for them tonight. Like you said, New Mexico United, it's really third place is locked up. Just watch what goes around in the crazy West.
Well, let's have a look at our players to watch, brought to you by Toyota. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our player to watch tonight is the Daniel Bruce, making his final appearance in black and yellow here tonight, having announced his retirement from professional football just a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's going to be an emotional night at the Lab. A lot of fans have turned out to say goodbye to an absolute legend, and you know, he's known for the Brucey banger, the Sacramento goal 6 years ago, but he was such a fox in the box and scored so many important goals for this club, so he'll be sorely missed.
Our player to watch from the Ocean State is Noah Fuson. He comes in as the reigning USL Championship Golden Playmaker after dishing out 10 helpers last season, helped Rhode Island make the final in their first season as a club.
Yeah, before joining Rhode Island, played for Columbus Crew 2, 30 appearances, 10 goals in 2022 for those guys. This year leads the team in chances created as well, so someone that New Mexico United are going to have to keep a close eye on.
Well, we've got something
At Blake's, we're proud to call our food fresh. We think every burger should be cooked to order and fresh off the grill. This patty's big, blockbuster big, and 100% Angus beef. Now, the finishing touch. This is a superior meat to bun ratio for the best burgers your mouth's ever tasted. Blake's Fresh Take is worth the wait.
Robert reading for Victor, and action.
Mary, I love you more than anything, but this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
Now you're angry. Go.
But this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
You're full of sorrow.
I'm drowning.
And cut. Great. We'll be in touch.
Good thing I went to C&M.
How about now?
Welcome back to the Lab here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here this evening, presented by Will Ferguson and Associates. And we're going to start first with Dennis Sanchez's 11. And you'll notice, Chris, not a whole lot of changes from this New Mexico side that took on Oakland Roots last Sunday. Just one change in the starting lineup. Daniel Bruce doing it for the last time.
Yeah, might as well say it one more time. Daniel Bruce through the middle for New Mexico United on his final appearance. But New Mexico United looking to shore up their defense as well after giving up 6 goals in their last 2 games.
And on the other side here for the visitors, We'll take a look as Cano Smith, he's made 3 changes to his starting 11 that drew 0-0 with North Carolina. Quizero, Mbika, and Mark Ibarra all getting the start here tonight.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how these guys line up. Maybe a back 3 with Dikwa and who's on up top, but all eyes at the start of this game on
What a storied career he has had here at New Mexico. Daniel Bruce tonight making his 171st appearance in all competitions. That is the most all-time in club history. As Daniel Bruce reached the decision to retire following a knee injury that sidelined him for the remainder of the season. This was just a couple of months ago. But what he means to this team, to this community, you can't put it into words.
Yeah, and you can just see, I mean, how he's taking the pre-game team talk there. You can just tell, and I'm sure he's trying to make sure the boys are just thinking like about the game and not about this for him. You know that this is important for off-the-field stuff, and you can tell he's all business still.
And that's what's made him so beloved here in New Mexico. He's never been the biggest or maybe the strongest. He might have been the fastest on the field at some times, but it is the grit, the effort that he plays with. He plays at 110% at all times. And he's been so beloved in this community. We'll talk more about his impact here throughout the club and the state of New Mexico. Kickoff from the lab. One last time for a club legend, Daniel Bruce. Well, fans, as we've mentioned, tonight is Daniel Bruce's final appearance in black and yellow. He officially announced that this season will be his final chapter as a professional footballer, closing the curtain on one of the most storied and beloved careers in New Mexico United history. Since he arrived in April of 2019, Bruce has become more than just a player. He's been a symbol of New Mexico United's spirit, passion, and perseverance. Over 7 memorable seasons in the black and yellow, the Englishman made over 170 appearances, played over 7,800 minutes. He scored 17 goals, had 21 assists across all competitions. But Chris, the numbers alone could never capture the impact of Brucey. Known for his boundless energy, his creative flair, relentless drive, he quickly etched his name into the hearts of supporters and became a mainstay of this club's identity. Whether he was pressing with a purpose deep into stoppage time or igniting the crowd with a trademark celebration in front of the fans, his presence on the pitch was unmistakable and will forever be unforgettable. Fans, we have for you a special message from Brucey we'd like to share with you.
New Mexico, you welcome me with open arms and quickly show me your deep love and support. From the very beginning, it was clear to me I was playing for something far bigger than myself.
Daniel Bruce coming on for New Mexico United.
I was here to represent this incredible state, its people, and the families that make it such a special place. New Mexico is where I built my life, where I met my amazing wife, and found this community that I now call family. After 7 unforgettable years of playing for New Mexico United, today I announce my retirement from professional football. This decision has not been easy by any means, but it is the right time for me and my family. When I reflect on my career, it has very little to do with me. It's all about you, the fans and supporters of this great club, the lads that I grew up playing with, the coaches that pushed me my whole life, and the family that kept me on track. To every member of staff, every teammate, and every supporter who's stuck by us through all the highs and lows, thank you. It's been the greatest honor to represent you all these years. One more? Yeah. I feel incredibly fortunate to have played my entire career with this one club. And my only hope is that I played even just a small part in inspiring the next generation to go on, dream bigger, and ultimately achieve more. Thank you for everything, New Mexico. God bless. Brucey.
Here's Bruce, the fantastic strike from the midfielder.
The box, the cross, and the goal for New Mexico United.
Bruce concealing more New Mexico. Bruce with a stunner.
And Christian Nava has just put New Mexico United on top.
Nodded down into the middle, it's Bruce.
Brett Hurst connects with Daniel Bruce, and there's the equalizer.
How we doing? There we go, New Mexico. Hey, tonight we get to honor the Daniel Bruce. Daniel, you embody everything New Mexico on a trial. And from the first moment you came in with grit, determination, heart, and a competitive spirit that 2.1 million New Mexicans have fallen in love with. Thank you. And beyond all the goals and assists and slide tackles and yellow cards that you drew didn't get, what you've done in the community is more inspiring. You've visited hundreds of schools. Hundreds of schools.
It's all right. I'll keep it short. New Mexico, thank you so much for these last 7 unforgettable years. I'm so thankful to have been here and had the opportunity to play for you. It's meant the entire world. And you may think tonight is about me. It is not. It is about you. You guys built this club. You welcome me. You welcome this team. And you supported us through the highs and the lows. And for that, I'm forever, ever thank you. Thank you for all that you have done for this team. And it is your job now to stand behind this team now for the next 7 years, and the next 7 years, and the next 7 years. That is your job now. Thank you, New Mexico. Shine on. God bless. Take care.
Well, some last final words from Daniel Bruce as he exits the pitch for the final time alongside his wife, Joy. An absolute legend closes the books on his storied career here tonight. Daniel Bruce, throughout his time with the club, Chris, we talked about the numbers on the pitch, but let's talk about them off the pitch. Daniel Bruce made over 90 community appearances during his 7 years here with the club. He did over 60 school visits and youth clinics. He touched over 7,000 lives across New Mexico. And just by doing some quick math here, we found out he reached over 1.2 million fans throughout his career as a professional footballer, and obviously off the pitch as well. And so Daniel Bruce, has been replaced by Greg Hurst. We are officially underway here tonight. That substitution was brought to you by Chiba Hut, toasted subs and sandwiches. And look, we'd like to extend a big thank you as well to the Rhode Island staff and players for going along with the ceremonies tonight. Chris, in all of your years in watching football, have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I mean, it's with so much on the line as well. Like, huge respect to Rhode Island. Like, obviously, they know how important that moment is as well. I don't know who it's more important for, Daniel Bruce or the fans. Like, again, he's been such a fan favorite. My phone's blowing up with people saying that, how sad they are just watching that, you know. And it's a fun farewell, I guess, you know, like, just so loved. So, but yeah, huge respect for them putting up with it. And no, I haven't. I guess the short answer would be no. I have not seen anything like that where a game is, you know, being, I guess, manufactured, manipulated. So, well done both teams for doing it. I think it was an appropriate send-off for, let's say, someone who's been so special. Like, the on-the-pitch stuff almost pales in comparison to what was done off the field. And all those numbers you just read out is the official numbers. Knowing Brucey, it was a lot more than that. The unofficial visits, the extra stuff he does as well, I'm sure those numbers were way higher than what was listed there, which were already impressive.
Yeah, and just to tell you, what sort of guy he is, look, throughout the 7 years of being here with New Mexico United, obviously, Chris, we've seen several players come and go. Daniel Bruce came into the office earlier this week. He had handwritten thank you cards for every single member of the front office staff. And when I tell you they were handwritten cards, it's not like he wrote the exact same message on every single one. They were all personalized, signed off with Brucey. It just speaks volumes about his character. And it goes to show why he's captured the hearts of so many people here in New Mexico. And I'm sure over the countless years of his life that he's been able to impact, it's just been truly incredible. And, he said it. He didn't choose New Mexico. He went on trial with a few other teams back in 2019 when he came out of college from UNC Charlotte, and they all turned him down. And he came here to New Mexico, and he was the final addition to the inaugural squad in 2019. As Greg Hurst is one-on-one here, and Greg Hurst, it's saved by Vegas. But immediately, Greg Hurst, who came on for Daniel Bruce, with the first opportunity here of the match.
Yeah, great opening opportunity there for New Mexico United, I guess, as we get back to the job in hand here. And again, I'm sure that's what Brucey was saying in the huddle pre-match as well. And yes, sprung, and that's the danger that Greg Hurst possesses, is through there. And great opening save as well with his foot. Vegas.
Kale sends this corner in. Goes over the head of everybody. That's going to be a goal kick for Koke Vegas, and that's going to give us time for this 5:29 game update. Brought to you by the Education Plan. That is New Mexico's state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. We'll spend more time talking about Brucey a little bit later on, but back to this one here tonight, Chris. It's the only USL Championship game going on this evening, with most of them taking place tomorrow, final match day of the regular season. There is a lot to be determined on both sides, on the East and the West. In the West, you've got 3 playoff spots up for grabs and 4 teams. Somebody's going to be left out at the end of it. And then you look over at the East, Rhode Island, they've already punched their ticket to the postseason. Will they be able to lock up that 7 seed here tonight with a win? Or are they going to need some help and some results to go their way tomorrow to avoid a trip to the FAM?
I think it's a testament to the Wild West that it's still so wide open. Like you say, there's really only one spot up for grabs in the Eastern Conference. Detroit City fighting for their lives to stay in the 11, right hot on their heels as well. And those games tomorrow will be key. Detroit could finish above Rhode Island, like what you said as well.
That's a look at Dennis Sanchez First season on the touchline for New Mexico. The former Las Vegas Lights manager. Last season, he was actually on the opposite side, where Cano Smith is currently standing last year in the postseason, as his Las Vegas Lights side ended New Mexico United's best season as a club in the Western Conference semifinals. You and I were here for that one, Chris, and then it seemed as though 2 months go by. Eric Quill, of course, gets the job with FC Dallas, and that means there's a vacancy here in New Mexico, and next thing you know, Dennis Sanchez on the other side.
Yeah, it's weird how those things happen, little like sliding doors moments, right? And Coach Quill, I believe, qualified for the MLS playoffs last week as well at the last moment at the expensive Colorado Rapids right up the road.
Lovely couple touches from Zico Bailey. New Mexico onto something. Greg Hurst has a shot, and the Scotsman just sends it wide. But New Mexico, Chris, coming out firing here on blackout night.
Yeah, and it's Hurst again, and I tell you what, Vegas looked beaten. It was a nervous look over his shoulder, hoping Greg Hurst tries to get some whip, tries to wrap his foot around the ball to get some, and he just doesn't quite get enough movement on it to bring it back inside the post. But you can just see that little nervous look over his left shoulder, Vegas, wondering if it was going to creep past the post.
Koke Vegas, the 30-year-old Spaniard, the captain for this Rhode Island squad tonight. He's no stranger to playing here at the Lab, Chris, having spent a couple seasons with San Diego Loyal. 22 and 23 with Loyal. He's one of a few players that came over, went from coast to coast, joined by Grant Stoneman. That is Cano Smith. First head coach in club history, led the team to the championship final last year, where they were defeated by Switchbacks, becoming just the third ever expansion club to reach the final in their inaugural season. And Chris, you made the call out that their form at this point, it's oddly similar to how it was at this time last year.
Yeah, it's you could say that about both teams, New Mexico United and Rhode Island, both going into the playoffs. Last 5 games done decent. Rhode Island, I believe, have gone 7 games undefeated and peaking just at the right time.
Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. So we have a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. As Dayon Harris stands over this one. Dayon Harris coming back from a knee injury earlier this season. He's been an incredibly bright spot for New Mexico. That shot attempt from Zico Bailey is blocked. Fuson giving chase to it. Throw in here for New Mexico.
Yeah, you just see Zico Bailey was just trying to settle the ball at the top of the 18-yard box. Short corner routine straight off the training ground for New Mexico there. And it just popped up off his foot, so he couldn't get it settled. Had to take an extra touch, allowed the defender to step out to him, close him down. No harm there, but Noel did well to put the pressure on and make sure New Mexico United can remain in the attacking zone here.
Long throw coming from Gloucester here. It's Kalen Ryden, who's made the initial effort there. Kalen Ryden, speaking of retirement, also announced his retirement from professional football. Was it last week, I believe?
Yeah, another. It's going to be a huge off season for New Mexico United, and obviously everyone at New Mexico United hope that the off season doesn't start for a fairly long time yet. And I'm sure Kalen Ryden will have his moment with the fans as well. We'll hope. But yeah, it's going to be, Daniel Bruce being one of the originals as well. I think that's why it was such a special thing tonight.
That was a great ball there from Dayon Harris, searching for Miquele Akale at the back post, deflected. And so another Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. This is Miquele Akale, native of the Twin Cities. Sends this one in, was looking near post. Talon Maples had 3 defenders around him. This one comes back to Akale. Ball goes in, back post. Noel. All the way back to Zico Bailey. Noel flicks it on right into the hands of Coque Vegas.
Really bright start here by New Mexico United, asking a lot of questions, and Rhode Island look a little rattled. You can see just not quite assured with their passing out the back, still trying to play out, but New Mexico United has set the trap, and they've won it again right there.
Here's Fuson, just trying to keep that ball in play, and it's going to go back to Chris Shakes. Chris Shakes, the former Penn State Nittany Lion, second season with New Mexico. Took over the starting role, Chris, a little bit more than halfway through the season from one of the most storied goalkeepers in USL Championship history, and Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, huge shoes to fill, and there's been games where he stepped out and Tambakis has come back in, and really been a little bit more of a rotation this season compared to what New Mexico United are used to in the past. But Shakes has really made it difficult for the coaching staff to drop him.
Chris Shakes coming into tonight, 4 clean sheets on the season. He's done that in just 12 starts. This ball hit long. At the end of it, that shot deflected as it was Gloucester making the bombing run down the flank. Had Dayon Harris in support. Gorgeous conditions here in Albuquerque, and Chris, you and I were talking before this broadcast started. It finally feels like fall here. It's been so warm for so long. Temperatures in the mid-50s tonight. Packed house here at the lab. We're expecting close to 10,000. This is Harris. Takes it short, comes back out to Bailey now. Window opens for Dayon Harris, cross. He's looking for Kip Keller at the back post. And Kip Keller, you talk about a midseason addition, Chris, who's made a huge impact. He's one of them.
Yeah, for sure. He absolutely, just a rock back there. Just so good. Ball in the air, just commands I'm not the exact stats in front of me, but the aerial duels he wins, there's another one right on cue as well. He's just formidable in that sense. And then on the ground, he's just good playing out from the back and decent on the ball as well.
Fuson, first shot on target for Rhode Island FC, and that's no problem for Chris Shakes. Well, Chris, you look at this Rhode Island squad here tonight without their top scorer in J.J. Williams. He's on the bench tonight as Valentin Noel gets a touch. Miquele Akale, and Akale slots it into the back of the net. New Mexico takes the lead, and they're off to a flying start on blackout night.
What a strike what a goal that was for New Mexico United. Comes from Rhode Island, basically their first attack of the game, which pulls them out of their defensive shape. 2, maybe 3 passes, and the ball finds Noel streaking through, and he has the calmness and the vision while running at full tilt to just pick out Akale, and Akale doesn't even need to break stride and just strokes it into the back of the net.
Well, it's the second goal in as many games for Miquele Akale. He found the back of the net on this field just 5 days ago on Sunday, 13 minutes in against Oakland Roots. He gets the party started here tonight in the 21st minute.
Just look at the weight of pass on that there, where Akale, a tiny little stutter step, but doesn't even need to take a touch to settle the ball. The weight of pass from Noel was absolutely exquisite.
Well, and if you're Rhode Island FC, now you've got a hole to dig yourself out of. 3 points key here tonight to avoid that 8 seed going into next week's playoffs. Corner kick coming up here for the visitors. Goes back post over the head of everybody. Sanchez chases it down. Battling with Harris, and Deon Harris whistled for the foul.
It's a little bit of a frustrating one, that. You see Sanchez, did well to get there and was battling for it. Really wasn't going anywhere. Harris just had a little nibble there and give the referee a decision to make, and now it's a dangerous free kick that they have to defend.
It's the Los Angeles native Noah Fuson standing over this ball. Last year's Golden Playmaker, 10 assists. He's got 4 goals to his name this season. Gio makes a fake run at it. Fuson, his ball headed away by Keller. Deon Harris just sort of outran the ball that time, but a challenge in the midfield and the whistle is blown. New Mexico thought they were off to the races once again.
Yeah, it was the initial chance was Harris running, and like you say, just overran the ball. His pace. It's great to see the pace. You always worry when players come back from knee injuries and they have so much pace. Well, Deon Harris has come back absolutely firing on that front. And then Keller, a little overeager, very similar to the tackle that Harris had made down in the bottom corner there to give away the free kick. Just a little overeager. Rhode Island player not really going anywhere, and give the referee a decision to make.
Well, a free kick coming up here for Rhode Island FC. Free kicks tonight brought to you by TLC. TLC Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Fuson golfs this one into the box. It was Sanchez who got the initial touch to it. Excuse me, this is Sanchez. It was Bacharach who had laid it off there. Another corner kick coming up here for Rhode Island. And now, Chris, if you're New Mexico, the opportunity is starting to pile up here for the visitors.
Yeah, and that's something that Rhode Island will know. Like, they won't panic that they've gone behind early on. New Mexico United conceding 6 goals in the last 2 home games. There's a fragility there, so they've certainly reacted well to the New Mexico United goal.
Corner taken short. Quizera lays it off for Fuson. Cross goes in, now back post. Bodies flying around there. It was Dikwa that went to ground. Well done. Deon Harris to win the throw-in for New Mexico. Well, they're not booing. That is a chorus of Bruce being extended out here in the 26th minute. The final appearance for Daniel Bruce this evening. Capping off just an incredible career. This ball turned over, flicked on now by Noel, and Akale gives chase. Eventually, Gio able to come away with it. Still with the ball at his feet. Able to get it away. Kalen Ryden gets a foot to it. Olstad. And the foul is called on Zico Bailey. You know, New Mexico are glad to have Zico Bailey back. He was out on international duty. Some World Cup qualifiers. Quizera, and that shot blocked by Keller. Well, Kip Keller, he gets a lot of blocks, Chris. 10 blocks since joining the club. He's a new center back for Dennis Sanchez. Coming down the stretch, he was acquired on loan from Minnesota United. Here's Joe. Joe puts a shot on, and Chris shakes with the save.
You kind of see the game sort of settling into a little routine now. You know, New Mexico United are almost happy to let Rhode Island try and break them down at this point, and because the counter-attacking pace that New Mexico United have Diop just earlier there had to be very, very careful with Akale, hot on his heels, and did very well. Maples just winning a free kick there, but you just see the pace, with Harris, Akale, Noel. The pace that New Mexico United have is frightening going forwards.
There's Holstad whistled for the foul there on Maples. Kalen Ryden making his 145th league appearance in black and yellow here tonight. Not quite the most all-time. That title belongs to Daniel Bruce, who with tonight's appearance marked number 155. That is in league play, as we mentioned, over 170 in all competitions. Akale trying to link up with Talon Maples that time. Akale goes to ground, and Brandon Stevis blows the whistle. Stevis running the action here tonight. Our assistant referees, we've got Noah Kenyawani and Clarence Clark. Fourth official tonight is Reyes Vargas. Akale is having a word there with Noah Fuson. Akale and Fuson, both very dynamic players. You talk about two players that have a very talented shot from outside the box. This is Akale. Back post, and the offside flag would have been up anyway. Not too far off that time was Greg Hurst.
Yeah, sorry, you could see what they were trying to do. Greg Hurst was sneaking around the back post. It looks like he maybe just went a step early, but yeah, again, another dangerous set piece, and there's been a few so far tonight. Rhode Island have had a couple already as well, where they're asking some questions from New Mexico United defence, and that's certainly give Rhode Island a lot to think about as well. So I doubt if they become very important as this game continues as well.
30 minutes gone by here at the lab. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst, as it was Makwele Akale opening up the scoring just 21 minutes in. The regular season finale for both clubs. Vegas with the ball at his feet. The Scotsman Greg Hurst closing down. Results in a turnover here for the hosts. Gloucester now. Just too far in front for the speedster Dayon Harris. Thanks for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on ESPN Plus, locally around the state of New Mexico on New Mexico 50. If you're hanging out with us all the way back on the East Coast, out in Rhode Island on NESN. It is a beautiful fall night here in Albuquerque. These two teams do battle for the first time here in the Land of Enchantment, Chris. In fact, the only other time these two teams have met, you've got to go all the way back to match day 1 of last season. It was the first match in Rhode Island's history. Up there in Rhode Island, it was a 1-1 draw. Talon Maples got the party started 68 minutes in, and then Fuson played a ball into the box in second half stoppage time that went off Chris Gloucester for an equalizing own goal. And that was how it ended.
And what a first season Rhode Island had. It's not often a new franchise steps into a professional league and gets all the way to the final show. Missing out in the final, obviously a very good Colorado Switchbacks hit peak at the right time as well. And that's the thing with the USL Championship. Like Lou City, ran away with it last year. I was looking today that last year Rhode Island finished 5th, and they were 25 points behind Lou. Right now they're 7th, locked in for the playoffs, but they are 32 points behind Lou. But who would bet against someone like Rhode Island or someone from further down the league, or someone who's just sneaking in the Western Conference as well, could make it all the way as well. Like, it's not about necessarily being there for the whole time. It's what state you get into the playoffs. That's really what counts.
You know, we keep talking about Rhode Island avoiding a trip to Louisville. You know what's funny about that, Chris, is Rhode Island went to the FAM twice last season, including once in the playoffs. They were victorious there in regular season play, 5-2 over Louisville City. That was regular season. We mentioned they made the trip out during the postseason. That was in the Eastern Conference semifinal. Rhode Island victorious by a 3-goal margin once again, this time shutting out the boys in purple 3-0.
So you're embarrassing me. You're going to make me go as red as a tomato here, you know. But maybe we misspoke. Maybe we should be saying Lou City's watching this game, hoping that Rhode Island get the 3 points so they don't have to host them. Maybe that's the way we're looking at it.
Well, recent history not on the side of Rhode Island. Louisville City did claim victory in that tie this season at the FAM, 2-1. But still, if you're Rhode Island, probably got to like your odds at that point, right? It's traditionally one of the hardest places to play in the league, out at Lynn Family Stadium. Beautiful facility. I want to highlight that first off. Their crowd is very energetic, much like this one here. 10,000 or close to it expected tonight. It's Dequa. And there's a coming together there as Keller looks to have gotten the worst of that. Dequa immediately shown yellow. Keller looks to be okay. Dequa, first person into the book here tonight, 35 minutes in. Yellow Card's brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think Keller got a face full of foot there. Again, we were talking about Keller earlier on, like the aerial duels, and like he's just the bravery there. Like he probably knew he was going to get whacked as well, and being willing to still put your head into those situations just to deal with the situation, that just proves the kind of defender he is.
Kip Keller, he was the 5th overall selection in the 2022 MLS Super Draft by Austin FC. Now, why is that significant, Chris? Austin FC? Well, look no further than the man on the touchline, Dennis Sanchez. He was part of that Austin FC staff during that time. New Mexico enjoying some possession. They go back to Shakes. Keller gets this off, and we'd like to let you know, fans, that you can get ready for all the exciting postseason action as the USL playoffs presented by Terminix kick off in November. Top teams will battle it out for the ultimate prize. Go to USLChampionship.com for all the latest playoff information. Sanchez into the box. New Mexico able to deal with the danger. Coming back the other way, and heavy challenge there from the Scottish forward, Greg Hurst, and he is beside himself.
I mean, clearly the ball moved in the direction Greg Hurst was going, but it's whether he went through the defender's leg to get a touch on the ball, which it's impossible to see from our angle up here. But yeah, certainly as he would, Greg Hurst there, but you can see he just gets his foot in front of Greg Hurst, so maybe, you know, he kicks his foot to kick the ball out. But you can understand the argument, but I think that was a good decision by the referee.
Well, so far we've seen Fuson take all of these free kicks. He'll do the honors this time once again, and this time the visitors have found the equalizer. Huge header. Rhode Island tie things up here, and it looks like it's Mbika.
That was an absolutely vicious ball put in, so much pace, and as soon as it left Fuson's foot, like any kind of touch could be trouble, and it was a bullet header. You saw Chris Shake's full extension, but he headed it back where it came from, back into the post at the side. But look how much pace is on that cross. It takes a little deflection as well. Didn't see that initially. I think it maybe deflected off Keller. A little bit of afters there as well between Dikwa and Keller, who are having a right old battle tonight as well. So back to all square, and you could see since the goal for New Mexico United, it really has been Rhode Island who've been in the ascendancy and asking all the questions.
A huge header for Ame Mbika. Not only does it equalize here tonight, Chris, but for Mbika, that is his first career professional goal. To give you some context tonight, his 93rd professional league appearance. He's also got one cap for the Zambian national team. Finally gets his name on the score sheet here tonight. Akale now settles this. Bailey. Well, our last three matches here, Chris, we've seen a center back on the score sheet. Starting out with Kip Keller back on October 11th. He scored his first career professional goal last weekend, Talon Maples from the spot. And then here tonight, we see Mbika picking up his first professional goal. He spent a lot of time in MLS, has a few appearances in MLS Next Pro. This is his first season in USL Championship. That could be the lifeline Rhode Island we're looking for. 5 minutes until the half, plus plenty of stoppage time. Usan plays this back to Holstad. Flicked on, here's Ibarra. Zara lays it off. Fuson now. Fuson has it taken off his feet. Here comes Greg Hurst. He's taken down. We're going to see a yellow card coming out, and Mark Ibarra goes into the book.
That'll be the easiest decision for the referee of the night there. Ibarra knew exactly what he was doing. What a great first touch that was by Hurst. And, talked earlier on about pace and power that New Mexico United attack had, and I didn't mention Greg Hurst, but there, he showed it in exactly what he's about there, that touch, and it just takes the defender out where the defender has to make the decision. If you take that touch, they either let you go or they foul you, and he made his decision, and the referee got the card out.
Yellow cards again brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm, and we have some clarification on that goal from Rhode Island. It actually looks like Mbika is credited with the assist, Chris, and the goal is actually credited to the 24-year-old Spaniard, Hugo Bacharach. And so for Bacharach, that is his first goal of the season. Former teammate of Kip Keller's at Minnesota United. He and Keller's here on loan. This one goes over to Kalen Ryden. Zalalem. Here come New Mexico. Down he goes in the box. The official points to this spot, and Chris Gloucester has just won a penalty.
Yeah, it was really well done by Chris Gloucester. That's the first time New Mexico United have got in behind that Rhode Island back five for a while, and that ball over the top, and he just cuts back. Little drag back, little Cruyff turn. Defender dangles a leg and just trips him as he can't stop quick enough. Again, another really, really straightforward decision for the referee. I don't think there's any argument there. You can tell Rhode Island players just resigned to it. No arguments whatsoever.
So Zico Bailey, he's going to walk to the spot. But as we've seen, he's going to wait for Maples to come up and grab the ball here. Talon Maples has been the go-to man for New Mexico at the penalty spot this season. Maples scored against Rhode Island last season. Can he do it again? Maples. And he slots it home. Talon Maples has converted his last 9 straight penalties. And New Mexico retake the lead.
Signature. That's what we're going to call it. His signature move. The little skip on his run up. Vegas was doing everything possible to try and put him off. It was almost akin to Bruce Grobbelaar back in the 90s for Liverpool. All the antics on the goal line, but Maples wasn't shaken, did his usual routine and just slotted it in the bottom corner.
Well, for Talon Maples, Koke Vegas guesses right, but the placement on that shot, undeniable that time, and goes to show why he's taken over penalty duties as a defender.
Yeah, like I say, signature. It was did not want to say it before because then it would be obviously my fault. But yeah, he's so reliable from the penalty spot after New Mexico United had so many troubles before he took over those duties.
Well, and Talon Maples, similar to Makwele Akale, has scored for the second time in as many matches. We've got 9 minutes added on here at the end of the first half. New Mexico United goals are brought to you by New Mexico Orthopedics, getting you back to you, the black and yellow, looking for more. Zera able to squeeze out with it. Nice switch. Here's Sanchez. Keller wins the foot race that time. Zalalem. Well, Gideon Zalalem, it's his first season here in black and yellow, Chris. He's played a decent amount, 21 appearances. Tonight is 22. He started 17 times. 10 yellow cards. Leads the team. He's actually out of the squad a couple games ago due to yellow card accumulation. Gideon Zalalem, he's somebody that's played a lot of professional football. In fact, tonight, his 125th professional appearance. He spent time at some pretty big clubs. Rangers, Scotland. He spent time with New York City FC, Sporting Kansas City. There's one club called Arsenal, where he's got an appearance in the UEFA Champions League. There he is. Gets it back from Keller. Harris. Well, able to play it back to Rhode. Valentin Noel with the assist on that Makwele Akale goal. Second assist in league play for Valentin Noel this season. After coming over mid-season from Las Vegas Lights. As New Mexico turn this ball over here, and this could be trouble. Dequa plays the cross in and unable to connect with Fuson that time.
You see New Mexico United, though, just being really patient with the ball in the build-up there. Got to be careful. Rhode Island ready to spring the counter-attack, but New Mexico United just two-touch, popping the ball around, keeping the ball moving, and just waiting, just patiently waiting for an opportunity to present itself. The movement ahead of the ball, that's what was maybe lacking a little bit. You can see again there where there's not too many options ahead of the ball, so while it looks neat and tidy, it was hard for New Mexico United to really go anywhere. And like I say, Rhode Island just were fine keeping the game in front of them as well and picked their moment and sprung the counter-attack. So a little note of caution there for New Mexico United as well.
Vegas comfortable with the ball at his feet. Quizera turns it over. Gloucester gives it right back. Here's Quizera, Rhode Island getting into the box here. Quizera with the shot, and it's saved by Shakes. The offside flag is up off the rebound. So that'll be a free kick here for New Mexico. And so just over 4 minutes of stoppage time gone by. Stoppage time brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment. Chris Shakes conceded 3 goals last Sunday here on this pitch to Oakland Roots. Had 5 saves in the process, Chris. He was getting peppered with shots throughout that one.
And again, it's another pretty wide open game. I'm not sure either coach would really like that either. You know, it's wide open, especially New Mexico United. The chances for New Mexico United going the other way have kind of dried up a little bit. But Rhode Island a few times have been able to carve open New Mexico United, and you know, whether it be Keller, Ryden's been quiet. You know, it's been a lot down this the right side of New Mexico United, dealing with crosses and things like that. But Shakes has been busy as well. Shakes has been the busier of the 2 keepers, which, considering the scoreline, is somewhat surprising.
Gloucester takes his time with this throw-in. Really trying to play it back to Ryden. Was Dequa able to get a touch to it? Here comes Holstad. Could not keep that ball in. Clay Holstad, the 25-year-old, second season with Rhode Island. Scored 4 goals for the club last season in 37 appearances. Before that, spent 2023 with Columbus Crew 2, MLS Next Pro. They made the league final that season. Holstad teammates with Noah Fuson. Noah Fuson's second season with the Crew 2. They actually won the league the season before in 2022. And Chris, as you mentioned, a couple of former New Mexico United guys were on that squad as well. In Marco Micheletto. He's currently Switchback's leading goal scorer this season. And Abdi Mohammed played right back for New Mexico last season as well. Keller gets the clearance wrong. Sanchez, marked by Zalalem. Some contact off the ball in the box. Free kick awarded to New Mexico. Well, fans, you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN. That's the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. Select matches will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Love to see the league just broadening the accessibility of the games. And doing a Spanish broadcast was Chris. That's not nothing new to us here in New Mexico. We've actually got a Spanish language broadcast team that we've had throughout the entirety of our 7 seasons. Manny Esquivel is the lead play-by-play on that squad. Does an incredible job as New Mexico looking for a third here before the stroke of halftime. Rhode Island able to clear it out, but Keller stops the break. Giop. Zara. It's turned around a little bit, but here come the visitors once again. Sanchez lays it off. Guzera. His entry was blocked. Noel now. Keelan Ryden still showing off the wheels there, Chris. Ryden, the captain, 34 years old, out of Norman, Oklahoma, announced his retirement earlier this month. Greg Hurst thought he might have been onto something there. Well, Chris, the first half is in the books. 2 goals for New Mexico by way of Miquele Akale and Talon Maples from the penalty spot. Bacharach with the equalizer in the 38th minute. Didn't last long. What's your take on that first 45?
I mean, an emotional start and then a very entertaining game thereafter as well. And I'd be very surprised if the scoring's done based on the defensive.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
It's time to kick off a new kind of partnership. Meet Carmela from Bernalillo County Animal Care, who is ready to join the game. Your support helps give these amazing animals a chance to play, grow, and to find a loving home, just like Frank did. Visit your local shelter and discover the joy of adopting a new teammate. Together, we can make every day a winning game.
It is halftime here in Albuquerque as Rhode Island scored the equalizer 38 minutes in, but New Mexico went ahead just before the stroke of halftime by way of Talon Maples' 45th minute penalty. It is halftime presented by First Financial Credit Union. Let's
okay, which game am I going to watch tomorrow to see, you know, potentially who New Mexico United might play in the next round? It could be any one of 5 teams, which is absolutely insane. And the Wild West, truly.
As we have a look here at the Eastern Conference now, and there's still plenty to be decided. Rhode Island, they do have the X beside their name. That means they've already clinched their ticket. But as we've made mention, they are looking to avoid dropping down into that 8th spot to avoid a trip to Louisville City. Louisville City are the number 1 seed. They have home field advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs. So some big points still to be decided. On to our news and notes now here from around the league. Brooklyn FC appointing former U.S. men's national team player and U.S. Soccer GM Brian McBride as the club's general manager. Rowdy's Leo Fernandez and Daniel Bruce announcing their retirement. As we showed you another big announcement of retirement coming out from Sacramento, as Roro Lopez also announced a couple days ago. And there you see Oakland forward Peter Wilson leading the Golden Boot race, while Damian Loss leading the Golden Glove race. New Mexico saw Peter Wilson here last weekend, where he scored twice from the spot. And that is it in terms of the upcoming schedule. In terms of guarantees, that is the playoff game. Opponent still to be decided for New Mexico. We'll figure that out tomorrow night. But one thing that we do know, Chris, 7 p.m. here next Saturday, the Lab will be electric. Peter Wilson, your reigning player of the week, presented by eFootball from Oakland Roots. Danny Cruz, your coach of the month from September. Your player of the month from September as well is Jorge Hernandez from SAFC. And your Week 33 Team of the Week, Ben Pierman getting the nod as the Coach of the Week.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Booking a spot in the playoffs for the first time.
USL All Access on SiriusXM FC every Tuesday night. Devin Kerr, Mike Watts, we've got all the news around the championship.
This series is a dead heat. This is the one we've talked about since the end of May.
We'll recap weekly results, talk about player transactions, coaching tactics, and hey, maybe even a guest appearance by some interviews.
Who knows? SiriusXM FC every Tuesday night and the following day on the USL YouTube page and the SiriusXM app.
They're not here by accident. It's not by chance.
You know, you only get one chance to make a first impression.
The game day environment is unlike anything I've experienced. It's loud, it's authentically Maine.
Even if the supporter doesn't play on the pitch, we fight together.
don't get many opportunities to be a part of something brand new. We do have a responsibility to set the foundation.
People are coming here because they know soccer and they want to watch.
Well, it's halftime here at the Lab in Albuquerque, a 2-1 advantage for the Black and Yellow over Rhode Island. Halftime brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. Chris, let's take a look at how we got here with our first half highlights brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm.
In the land of enchantment, every move counts. That's why you need New Mexico Orthopedics to get you back doing the things you love. The official orthopedic surgeons of New Mexico United. Somos Unidos.
Me and my girls are anything but basic. And with the First Financial's high five checking rewards rate, we basically love living our life to the fullest. We used to wear pink on Wednesdays, but now orange is the new pink, and we wear it from head to toe every day. Ew, you have a basic bank? I got this. Nothing about me is basic, not even my credit union.
First Financial Credit Union, not a basic bank.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
Welcome back here to the Lab, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2-1 lead for Dennis Sanchez and his side as they look to capture 3 points on the final match day, Chris, is they're in the driver's seat. Now, what you pointed out before we went to that last break is that there's been a lot of chances for Rhode Island. What do New Mexico United need to do here to see this one out?
I mean, that's the $1,000,000 question, Tyler. I love when you ask stuff like that. This is why I'm sitting up here. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, obviously, try it. It's just New Mexico United, every time they got the ball behind Rhode Island, they look dangerous. But not only that, that almost negates the opportunity for a counter-attack if Rhode Island are facing their own goal. So really getting Rhode Island turned around, facing their own goal, taking away their pace and power going forwards. I think that'll be what New Mexico United just, a little tighter, less mistakes. Again, Keller's been really, really busy, but there's been some sloppiness in general across the back line. New Mexico United too wide open, so keeping things tight as well.
So, quick housekeeping note, as we get this second half started, there was one substitution at the halftime break. J.J. Williams is on for Rhode Island. He replaces Mark Ibarra, who picked up a yellow card in the 41st minute. J.J. Williams, of course, the leading goal scorer for this Rhode Island FC club at 7 goals in just 17 appearances. Also had 11 goals last season in 30 appearances for the club. You saw on a bit of a heavy touch that time. Mabika goes all the way back to Coque Vegas. Biden sees this ball all the way back to Chris Shakes, and Chris Shakes really earning some playing time here this season, Chris, having taken over from Alex Tambakis, allowing just 1.3 goals per game, 4 clean sheets already. Making that decision tough for Dennis Sanchez.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the first half, right? It was, I think initially when the change was made, it was maybe again, speculating, but maybe a short-term idea, but the performances kind of, when someone's given a chance, it's up to them to take it, and Chris Shakes has certainly done that. There has been some rotation, and we spoke about earlier, way more than any other season in New Mexico United history. But Chris Shakes, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in net for the first game of the playoffs as well.
Here's Harris. Harris has a shot, and it's blocked by Mabika. This ball looking for the substitute, J.J. Williams. Naples goes to ground. J.J. Williams, he's somebody who has been around. Harris gets this ball, threads the needle. Here's Akale, and Akale unable to retain possession. But J.J. Williams, just 27 years old, Chris, making his 180th professional appearance tonight. 55 goals scored.
Yeah, and I tell you what, a different proposition maybe to what Dikwa was shown in terms of in the first half, with just the size of him. He's an absolute unit. Just when he stepped on the field there, from all the way up here in our vantage point, you can just tell he's built. So I think Rhode and Keller are absolutely going to know they've been in the game by the end of tonight.
Here's Hurst. Advantage played, Greg Hurst, and he didn't miss by much.
That was so similar to an opportunity he had early on in the first half as well. Just didn't quite, he got bend on it, just started it a little too far outside the post and couldn't bring it back.
Here's Williams. Marked by Ryden. Elbow went high there that time from Williams, and he's whistled.
You could see the reaction immediately by Ryden. Now he's trying to check and make sure there's no blood coming from his nose. I think it was completely accidental, but again, he's just such a big body. It's probably easy to run into his elbows, We
talk about J.J. Williams and his extensive experience. Spent part of the 2022 season with Phoenix Rising, scoring 3 times in 13 appearances. Other than that, most of the time he spent in the East. Tampa Bay Rowdies, Birmingham Legion, Atlanta United 2. Bit of contact there from Greg Hurst on Giop, and foul is called. Greg Hurst making his 89th league appearance in black and yellow here this evening. Scored 23 goals for the club over the past 3 seasons. He's been the leading goal scorer the last 2, Chris. That title may be taken by Talon Maples, however, this year. TLC free kick. Quizera goes back to Giop. In the midfield now, Bacharach. Here's Nadarse. Frank Nadarse. Nadarse also no stranger to playing here at the Lab, having spent a couple of seasons with the now defunct Rio Grande Valley Toros. As New Mexico United fans may know them as RGV. One coming up here for New Mexico.
There's been a little tweak in formation for Rhode Island in the second half, like you mentioned just a second ago. Bacharach stepped into the midfield alongside Holstead, which has allowed Dequa, Fusion, and Williams to kind of just carry the attack, and a lot more attacking options for Rhode Island in the second half here. But yeah, back 4. So little change there, and something for New Mexico United to adjust on the fly with as well.
Got a little messy there for Chris Shakes. Just has to clear the danger as I believe it was Williams was closing down. You see immediately Williams with an impact as a substitute. Holstad getting set to deliver the long throw into the box here. Kevin Ryden wins the initial header. Akale. Now Keller just gets rid of it.
That's a big talking point where anyone who watches European soccer, like the Premier League, obviously one of the biggest leagues in the world, about how the long throw has made its comeback, and I've seen it here in the USL Championship as well. He got it all the way to the 6-yard box, and it caused chaos, and they really do cause confusion. And the tiki-taka style of Guardiola from a few years ago, it's definitely evolved now, and it's changing again, and all levels of the sport are taking heed of that as well.
Keller run over from behind there from Quizera, and this will be a ball to New Mexico. Free kick coming up here as we take another look on this TLC replay. Maybe just a little bit of frustration there from Quizera. Quizera out of Rwanda. He's got 15 caps for the Rwandan national team. He's scored twice. Spent some time at CF Montreal in the MLS before coming over to Rhode Island last season. Ryden able to get a boot to that ball. Quizera. Mabika, and goes all the way back to Koke Vegas. Vegas sends this ball long, and that's going to give us time to let you know, fans, that Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. And shot there from Fuson, blocked by Kalen Ryden. You can visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Ball flicked on. Quizera, flag stays down. Quizera cross into the box. Right into the waiting hands of Chris Shakes. Chris Shakes, a Florida native. Just 24 years old is Shakes. Zawala, New Mexico, give the ball away there in the midfield.
It was just too casual, too slow. I was just waiting for New Mexico United to kind of go through the gears. I was wondering if they were just trying to tempt Rhode Island into stepping and leaving that space behind so they could spring an attack, but it was just a little too calm, a little too slow, a little too pedestrian in there, and then one sloppy pass, and here come Rhode Island.
Laid off here on the near side. Nodarse. Cross blocked by Gloucester, and now Harris turns the other way. Been a while since we said Deion Harris's name. Harris turns the ball over.
You see there, New Mexico United, like Deion Harris running there. There's Greg Hurst ahead of the ball. Akale was doing his best to catch up with the ball. But 6 New Mexico United players behind the ball with no real interest in the attack. So maybe New Mexico United just kind of got the 2-1 lead, know that Rhode Island need to win this game, and it's up to them. But it looks like maybe Zico Bailey has a little problem here.
Let's look at Chris Shakes. I mentioned the 12 starts, 35 saves, 4 clean sheets so far this season. Is the athletic trainer on to have a look at Zico Bailey, and not good with a playoff game on the horizon just 8 days from now. Zico Bailey has really become a vital part of this midfield under Dennis Sanchez.
And it looks like he's feeling the back of his upper leg there, so I doubt there'll be any risks taken with this. Wouldn't be surprised to see a change. Maybe hopefully he's just felt something that doesn't feel good, that it hasn't completely gone, but there's the signal. He'll be done for the night. So it looks like maybe a little hamstring issue there, but again, hopefully nothing too serious, and he's caught it before it becomes an issue.
Zico Bailey making his 66th appearance in USL Championship play for New Mexico. He joined the squad mid-season in 2023. He was one of the first acquisitions for then new head coach Eric Quill. Since then, Bailey has really become a regular in this starting lineup. Made 25 starts last season. Looks to be walking all right, which is a good sign. As I said, I'm sure just precautionary here at this point.
Yeah, like you say, he looks like he's walking really freely. So again, it's probably just one of those. It is a cold night. It's, you know, coldest night we've had for a little while. So yeah, hopefully he's just felt something a little bit, and not taking risk, but what great depth for New Mexico United, and being able to bring on a player like Jabang there.
So we've got the official substitutions here for you. Sergio Rivas and Usman Jabang off the bench for New Mexico. They'll replace Zico Bailey and Dayon Harris. Double change for Kano Smith as well. He brings in Zach Harava and Maxi Rodriguez. They're on to replace Albert Dikwa and Ame Mabika. Those substitutions brought to you by Chiba Hut, toasted subs and sandwiches. End of the night for Dayon Harris. I'm sure the coaching staff wanted to get him out here, let him run around for 60 minutes, and now rest up for the big one next weekend. He'll be replaced by Albuquerque native Sergio Rivas. Rivas comes on tonight to make his 131st league appearance for his hometown club. Having joined back in 2021, Sergio Rivas has found the back of the net 17 times in his New Mexico United career. Most recently, last August, this a victory at Indy 11. Rivas came on as a halftime sub against Oakland on Sunday. He's got 30 minutes to make an impact here tonight as Rhode Island less than that now to find an equalizer. Darce plays this forward for Quizera. Here's Holstad.
Looks like Bacharach's stint in midfield is done. He's back into the back four now, and Harry Vos in midfield alongside Holstead, and Fuson is out on the left now with Maxi Rodriguez just playing in behind Williams. So still the same formation, 4-2-3-1 that they've come out in the second half of Rhode Island, but move some pieces around. Quizara on the right-hand side now.
Rodriguez getting involved here as a sub. Cross goes in and headed away by Keller. Noel gets the clearance wrong. Falls to Nodarce. Holstad. Poked forward. Cross in once again. Keller heads once again. Quizera. It's out for a corner.
I think here comes the kitchen sink for Rhode Island. They are throwing everything at New Mexico United right now.
This will be Fuson heading over to deliver this corner kick. It's going to be joined by Giop. In fact, it's Giop that takes the last touch here, and so it looks like he's going to deliver. He does, and over the head of everybody. It'll be out for a goal kick. Hamidi Giop spent some of the MLS season with San Diego FC. Here with Rhode Island here to finish things out, making his just 6th appearance here tonight. This ball turned over. Contact there, and it's Usman Jabang whistled for the foul. Usman Jabang making his 25th appearance here this evening. Picked up a 85th minute yellow card against Oakland on the weekend. This is going to set up another opportunity here for Rhode Island. Ball was searching for Maxi Rodriguez. It looked like he was unmarked the whole time, Chris. You were pointing that out before the ball was even delivered.
Yeah, he just snuck around the back, and New Mexico United was so worried about what was going on in the middle of the thing. He's used his experience and just snuck around the back post, and just the cross was just a little heavy, but yeah, something to be aware of for sure. And again, all these free kicks, all these corners starting to add up for Rhode Island. You got to think they will be looking to take advantage of one at some point. They are going to get one right. So New Mexico United, if they want to hold on to their lead, they need to stop giving them away. On the other side of it, Rhode Island, they really need to make one of these count.
What a dribble there from Mikwele Akale, eventually winning the free kick, but Akale looking like a matador there a couple times with the defenders. So quick the way he can change directions, Mikwele Akale. It's Gloucester. All the way back to Kip Keller, St. Louis, Missouri native. Keller spent last season in the FC Cincinnati system. Gloucester read that pass. Has his cross blocked by Bacharach. He was looking for Sergio Rivas, who had some space there in the 18.
Yeah, that was really well read there by Chris Gloucester. Just like almost invited the pass. He stayed about 10-15 yards away, and as soon as it left the defender's boot, he was on his bike, managed to pluck it out the air on his chest. A really search and run forwards, and an early delivery as well, which forced Rhode Island to give away the corner.
Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. Mikwele Akale to do the honors. 6 assists on the season for Akale. That leads New Mexico. Keller. And that header off target.
That was a chance. That was a chance. He found himself in just half a yard of space there, and Keller will probably feel like he could have got that on target, but it found him fast, so maybe didn't have quite enough time to adjust. But yeah, that was a sight of goal for sure.
Kip Keller scored on a header similar to that just 2 weeks ago. On October 11th, 51st minute goal against Orange County here at the Lab. First professional goal for Kip Keller. Get a little gritty afterwards, too, on the celebration. I know you've got young kids, Chris. I'm sure you do a gritty here and there. Am I right?
I was about to be. Said no, because I might look like that. But yeah, no, I know my boundaries. That's absolutely not.
New Mexico looking to break. Here's Rivas. Rivas just could not connect with the Frenchman Valentin Noel. Karak lays this one off to Diop. Good touch there from Quizera to settle that ball. And with tonight, Chris, being the final night of Daniel Bruce's illustrious footballing career, I was able to hear from club owner Peter Trevisani on what Daniel Bruce has meant to this club. This is what he had to say. We will never have another Daniel Bruce. On the field, he exhibits all the characteristics we look for in a New Mexico United player. Hardworking, gritty, unselfish teammate. Not a surprise that he holds so many club records. Usan gets on the end of this one. Flag stays down. Cross goes in, dangerous, and the header from Maxi Rodriguez goes straight to Chris Shakes. To cap it off here from Peter Trevisani on Daniel Bruce. As good as he's been on the field, he's even more driven and impactful off the field. He cares deeply about our community. And while I don't know what his future holds, I do know New Mexico will always be part of it. Simply put, Daniel Bruce is a hero. Daniel Bruce, he was actually one of the final additions to the inaugural roster back in 2019, Chris. And also heard from the owner, Peter Trevisani, that at the time, Troy Lesane was the head coach. He was the last player to make the team under Troy. Troy actually came to Peter Trevisani and asked if they could expand the roster by one to accommodate him. Peter Trevisani goes on to say, quote, "Best yes I ever said."
That's awesome. Let's go back to the gritty bit as well. Like, you almost feel like he was always the forward that whenever a new manager came in, they weren't quite sure about him, but he always found a way to get back into the manager's plans. Always. Coach's plans, you know? Always.
And what's been funny about it is how we've seen him evolve as a player, Chris. We saw him in that first season. He played as a right back. A lot of the time. He played as a winger. Eventually, over the last few seasons, really was able to lock down a spot as a striker, but just goes to show it didn't matter where Daniel Bruce played as long as he was on the field. Cruzera, he's going to be whistled for a handball that time. Less than 20 minutes plus stoppage time remain here in this regular season finale at the Lab. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. Thank you for joining us wherever you're watching, however you're watching. It is a gorgeous fall night here in Albuquerque. These two playoff-bound teams, East versus West here for the first time in the Land of Enchantment. Great touch from Gloucester. He's got support arriving. Cross goes in over the head of Hurst. Akale able to track this ball down. Maples has pushed forward as well. The Georgia native, Usman Jabang. Jabang run over that time by Williams. Foul is called. Let's take a look at some of the upcoming matches tomorrow. Decision day. Still a lot at stake here on both sides of the playoff picture, including the fate of Rhode Island. Will they be 7th or 8th when it's all said and done? Olstad turns upfield. Maples battling it out there with Williams. Maples does well to win the goal kick. Talon Maples, the goal scorer, before the stroke of halftime from the penalty spot, converting his 9th consecutive penalty. There was a point, Chris, where penalties were a big question mark for this New Mexico United squad, and now you've got to go all the way back to August of 2024 for the last time they didn't convert. This one goes into the midfield.
That's a start. Well done.
Foul called there on Sergio Rivas. TLC free kick upcoming. Rhode Island could be onto something, and the shot that time just goes above the bar from Fuson. Tonight's player to watch, well, he has certainly been a creator for the visitors, Chris.
Yeah, always dangerous. And say, you know, like he has the lead chance creator for this team. He's the one that makes Rhode Island tick.
Massive crowd here tonight at the Lab. 10,125 in attendance. Brought to you by New Mexico Mutual. And they're not done, Chris. A big one on the horizon next Saturday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time kickoff. Opponent TBD. But New Mexico, they'll be looking to replicate what they did in the first round last year, Chris, where they dumped Phoenix Rising 2-1 to advance on to the Western Conference semis. Turnover here, it's Rivas. Down goes Hurst. No whistle from Brandon Stevis. No Darcy now. Points at a premium here tonight for Rhode Island. 15 minutes plus stoppage. Arava plays it in, punched away by Shakes. Zalalam gets another foot to it. Holstad off the volley. Nearly equalized.
Wow, that was a strike. It was that split second, that optical illusion from our vantage point where I thought maybe it snuck in there, but New Mexico United caught with players high up the field. Noel, Akale, Hurst all struggling to get back underneath the ball. Defense for New Mexico United did really well to slow the game down, but second opportunity falls to Halstead and just thinks why not, and has a pop with his left foot and wasn't far away.
Few more subs coming in. It looks like a double change for both sides. On for New Mexico, Luther Archimed and Jalen Lindsay. They're on to replace Valentin Noel and Greg Hurst. Danny Rovira comes on for Rhode Island. He'll replace Franco Darce, and Dongo, he's on as well. So the forward, Matthew and Dongo. Some offensive reinforcements here down the final stretch for Cano Smith. Ball poked away by Zalalam. Here's Jabang now. The advantage is played. Rivas cuts it back. Still Rivas. Outlets to Akale in New Mexico. Win the throw. So those 4 substitutions brought to you by Chiba Hut toasted subs and sandwiches. New Mexico certainly in no hurry coming down the stretch here, Chris. Naples with the throw. Looking for the big target in Luther Archimed. Jabang. Akale now. Akale. He had Archimed fairly open there alongside the 6-yard box.
I think the opportunity was there for Akale to drive to the end line and pull it back, but wanted to go back on his favoured left foot and try to stand it up at the back post. I think it was Gloucester arriving at the back post there. Just too much on it.
Brandon Stevis, he's going to send this one all the way back to Coque Vegas and make him retake.
I think Archimed's just stepping into the 18-yard box just a little bit too early there, and the AR's keeping an eye on it.
Archimed gets a quick word in his ear from the official. Archimed making his 11th appearance for New Mexico after being acquired in late August from Monterey Bay. Archimed missed most of last season with a season-ending knee injury in May. Well, he scored twice so far in his 10 appearances leading up to tonight, Chris, and he's been frequently a substitute Dennis Sanchez has gone to late in games.
And what a tackle that was by him there as well, helping out defensively there, full-on 25, 30-yard sprint and a crunching tackle. And eventually, it ends up with New Mexico United winning possession with a throw-in and giving someone a piggyback.
That allows Rivas to run onto this ball. The Albuquerque native Sergio Rivas went to Cibola High School on the west side. Jalen Lindsay, the second half substitute. Lindsay with plenty of MLS experience under his belt, 90 appearances in the top flight. Here's Keller. Wisely outlets it to Talon Maples. Looked like for a second he was thinking about that one, Chris.
He thought about it. 100% he thought about it.
Would have been his first goal from the run of play. Zalalem, he's tripped, and J.J. Williams now goes into the officials' book. That's the second time we've seen Williams whistled for the foul. The first time was that elbow that caught Kalen Ryden just a few minutes ago. So the official just saying they're starting to add up.
I mean, you're saying just a few minutes ago, I think that was right at the start of the second half, but it's flown by the second half. You can see I'm just a little slow to get up there, but really positive play by him in there. And normally he's just real simple, just 1-2 touch, moving the ball onto the next guy, but there just turned the corner and showed a little turn of pace that caught Williams off guard.
So Zalalem will receive some attention. That's going to give us time to let you know, fans, that soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. SeatGeek also the official ticketing provider of New Mexico United. So, fans, if you are thinking about coming out to that playoff game next weekend, Saturday night, November 1st, here at the Lab, 7 p.m. Mountain Time kickoff, get on SeatGeek and get your tickets. And if you're a season ticket holder, you're watching this broadcast right now, go into your SeatGeek app. You can actually opt in to your season ticket seats throughout the playoffs on a pay as New Mexico United wins basis. Really cool feature that the SeatGeek app has. Make sure to get on SeatGeek and get your tickets now. So New Mexico taking their time here and finally back to play. 84th minute here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. Thanks for joining us this evening. ESPN Plus, New Mexico 50, and NESN. Archimed, flag stays down. Archimed chips the keeper, and it's just off target. Archimed was looking for his third goal of the campaign and what would have undoubtedly been the nail in the coffin for Rhode Island tonight, but just goes begging.
Everyone at the south end of the stadium, little optical illusion, thought that maybe it got in, just waiting for that net to ripple a little bit. It never happened. Lobbed the keeper, but unfortunately managed to lob the crossbar as well.
Goes all the way back to Coque Vegas. Volstad Golfs this one forward, headed away by Keller. Williams, and New Mexico come into possession, and still probing around. Here's Harava. Lays it off. That's Ndongo. Gets it over to Rovira. Bacharach now just looking for a window. Cross now goes in, back post, shakes, rises up to claim the ball at its highest point.
Great goalkeeping there by Shakes. It just gives an extra little step of security to his back line there. Coming, claim command in his box. And the fact he rose above two defenders as well to claim that. Tremendous goalkeeping.
Well, fans, if you can't watch the match, you can turn on SiriusXM FC 157. That is North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the new SiriusXM app. Sure you're on that during the weekends, Chris, listening to your beloved Sunderland in the Premier League. Kale gives the signal. The offside flag up on New Mexico. Rovira. Just under 3 minutes plus stoppage time left in this one. Ndongo battling here on the near side with Lindsay. Harava tried to play that one through and instead goes all the way back to Giop. Fuson. Great challenge there. Physical challenge from Usman Jabang. And now just sending this forward towards the corner for Arshamed. Arshamed unleashes one. Looking to just switch the play. What a run there from Gloucester. Despite putting in a shift here over the past 88 minutes, Gloucester able to win the throw-in.
Yeah, and you can see both hands on his knees. Just gasping for air there. He's put an absolute shift in. Winning the PK for New Mexico United, the go-ahead goal right now as well. And a couple of other opportunities where he's picked off passes and driven to the end line as well. So really got through some miles on that left-hand side of the pitch for New Mexico.
Keller into Zalalam, and now all the way back to Shakes. Here's Lindsay. Looking to thread this ball forward for Chris Gloucester, and instead the goal scorer, Bacharach, able to chase it down. Foul called against New Mexico. Free kick here, and fans would like to let you know that eFootball is here. You can live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball, free to play. Download now. Williams goes down. Whistle goes against Kalen Ryden. Free kick coming up here for the visitors. 90th minute here at the Lab. 30 seconds remaining in the allotted 90, but hearing that there's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time added on. There's Akale. Akale just boots it across midfield to Koke Vegas. Into stoppage time we go. 5 minutes added on. Stoppage time presented by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment. Here's Rodriguez. Hereva plays this forward. Fuson shot. It's blocked by Shakes. Hereva comes away with it again. Well done by Gloucester that time.
There's a great tackle in there by Zalalem as well, and I think he's holding his groin. It looks like he may be carrying a little knock as well and just kind of battling through it. He was down on the turf for an extended period there.
Time winding down here for the visitors. Holstad, I think he thought he was offside. Maples goes to ground. Cross goes in. Headed away by Gloucester and dealt with by Lindsay. New Mexico look like they're just going to hunker down here over the next 3.5 minutes, Chris.
Yeah, it is one-way traffic right now. Rhode Island trying to see if they can one last push to get themselves back in this game.
Blue ball from Fuson. Intercepted by Keller that time. Giop. Just out of reach of Noah Fuson, and so Chris Shakes will take his time here with this goal kick. While Shakes takes his time here, we'd like to let you know that the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Arshamed battling late. Arshamed so big-bodied and physical. Wins the corner kick here for New Mexico. Just 2 minutes of the minimum of 5 added on remaining. Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Holstad looking to assist the proceedings here as New Mexico certainly in no hurry. Kale asking Arshamed to come over and play it short. Arshamed. It didn't quite work out as well as he wanted that to, but you saw now with Akale on his heels, Williams. And unfortunately for Rhode Island, Fuson, he's put in a big shift here tonight. Just looks a little leggy here late.
You could say that about a lot of players. You can see Tyler Maples looks absolutely dead on his feet as well there. Barely, I mean, he's just talking himself through left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot right now. Could be the last opportunity, another long throw for Rhode Island here.
We've seen these be dangerous from Clay Holstad already tonight. Into the box it goes. Headed away, but The shot followed up by Ndongo, blocked, and it just goes wide. And that could potentially be the last opportunity for Rhode Island here tonight.
Wow, that was a chance as well. Williams, I think it was, just kind of whiffed on it at the back post as the shot was going by. He didn't have long to react either, but any kind of redirection on that long shot would have spelled trouble for Chris Shakes.
Chris Shakes sends this ball long, and that is the full-time whistle here at the Lab. New Mexico victorious over the 2024 Eastern Conference champions, Rhode Island FC. New Mexico on their way to the postseason next week as the 3-seed. Chris, our play of the match is awarded to Makwele Akale for his goal in the 21st minute, presented by Vara Winery and Distillery. Your defensive player of the match and man of the match goes to Talon Maples. Man of the match is brought to you by Pepsi. The defensive player of the match is brought to you by Valley Fence. Chris, your take on this entertaining 90-plus minutes here tonight.
Yeah, it was. Both teams have arguments to say that they deserve the win, but New Mexico United, once they got their noses in front, really managed the game for the most part. Rhode Island asked questions, but New Mexico United's backline had the answers.
And so Talon Maples and Makwele Akale score for the second time in as many games. New Mexico victorious over
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
Well, it's a victory worthy of a fireworks celebration as New Mexico double up Rhode Island FC here tonight. Your full-time score 2-1, brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. Let's have a look at our full-time highlights. This match packed with plenty of action